Hey everyone! In a previous video, we learned how to perform inpainting with zimageturbo using a control net called zimageturbo Controlnet Union 2.1. In addition to inpainting, this control net supports control maps, which allow you to transfer the composition from any image into your zimageturbo image generations in several different ways. So let's dive into using control maps with zimageturbo. I'm assuming you've already watched my previous video and know exactly where to place the control net file within ComfyUI, so let's jump straight into the workflow. You can download this workflow from the video description. Since you likely understand some parts of this workflow already, let's focus specifically on the control net part. To use the control net, we have a node called zimageFunControlNet, which supports both control maps and inpainting inputs. This node is placed between the model sampling aura flow and the K sampler. The model patch input is connected to the model patch output of the model patch loader node, where I have selected the 2.1 control net. You should also know that the developers recently released a new distilled version of this control net that only requires 8 steps. However, in my initial tests, the quality wasn't great. Because of that, I'll be focusing only on the non-distilled version today. Then the VAE input is connected to the VAE output of the load VAE node. Next, the image input is connected to the scale image and control map generation node. This node is a subgraph that contains a lot of nodes. If we click on this arrow, we can see inside the subgraph. I am not going to waste your time explaining all of these nodes, so let's exit the subgraph, and I'll give you a simple explanation of this node. This subgraph has image and mask inputs and image and control map outputs. The image output is mainly used for setting the output resolution of the generated image. Then, about the control map outputs, we have two. One is mainly used for outputting canny, head, depth, and MLSD control maps, and the other control map output is used for outputting open pose and DW pose. So right now, I have connected the canny, head, depth, MLSD output to the image input of the zimageFunControlNet. Now about the options available in the subgraph node. The first option is for setting the upscale method of the image. Then there is the image megapixels option, which sets the scale of the image. Simply put, the image comes into the subgraph node, gets rescaled to 1 megapixel, and is then sent to the image output as well as the preprocessors for generating control maps. For mask refinement, we have two options. One is mask expand, for expanding or shrinking the mask, and the other is the mask blur radius, for smoothing the edges of the mask. The mask feature in this subgraph node was added for the control maps. With the mask, you can define which areas should or should not appear in the control map outputs. Then we have the preprocessor option for choosing various control map preprocessors. This option is connected to the canny, head, depth, and MLSD output of this subgraph. Next, we have the pose preprocessor for choosing open pose or DW pose. This option is connected to the open pose/DW pose output. Finally, we have the control map resolution option for setting the resolution of the control maps. Then we have the load image node for loading images. Right now, I have loaded an image and drawn a mask on it. Let's choose the image again. Now the mask is gone. So let's try copying the composition of this image by generating a canny map from it. I have already selected the canny edge preprocessor in the scale image and control map generation node. Regarding the strength, I am using 0.8 in the zimageFunControlNet node. You can try a value between 0.6 and 1.0. Also, when you increase the control net strength, you may need to increase the steps in the K sampler. Right now, I am using 20 steps. I already have a good prompt in my positive prompt node, so let's run the workflow and see the result. The generation is complete, so let's take a look at the result. As you can see, the result is good. If we compare the generated image with the canny map from our original image, we can see that the composition looks very similar. Now, regarding the generation time, it took around 143 seconds, which is about 2.3 minutes. The control net definitely increased the generation time. What if we don't want to copy the whole composition of an image, but just a few parts so the model has more freedom? This is possible by using a mask. Let's go to the Load Image node, right-click on it, and open the mask editor. In this image, I only want the desks and the bench position to be used in the image generation. All I need to do is use the mask brush to draw around the area I want. Now, let's invert the mask, simple as that, and save it. We are ready now. I am using the same preprocessor and the prompt as before, so let's run the workflow and see the result. So the generation is complete. Now let's look at the result. It is even better than before because, this time, the model had more freedom. If we compare the generated image with the canny map we created, we can see that the model successfully copied the position of the benches and the desk. Now let's try another control map. This time, we are going to choose the HED preprocessor. Let's select a different image. I'll choose this image of some pillars and click Open. Now, let's mask the areas I don't want to use in the generation. I'll open the mask editor and draw around those specific parts. Now we are ready, so let's save the mask. Before we generate the final image, let me show you what an HED map looks like. I'll mute the K sampler and run the workflow. Here is the result. Let's open the HED map in a new tab. As you can see, the HED map looks quite different from the canny map. Let's try another generation. I'll unmute the K sampler and then try a different prompt. I'm going to copy this prompt and paste it into the positive prompt box. Now, let's run the workflow and see the result. So the generation is complete. Let's take a look at the result. As you can see, the result is really fantastic. This shows how masking can help us create some beautiful results. It is a really powerful feature. Now let's try another generation using a depth map. I am going to choose another image, this time of a tram. Click Open. For this one, I only want the tram itself to appear in the depth map. So let's right-click and open the mask editor. Using the mask brush, let's draw around the area of the tram. Now, let's invert the mask and save it. For the preprocessor, let's select Depth Anything V2. Now, let's change the current prompt. I'll open Notepad and copy this prompt of a train, then go back to ComfyUI and paste it into the positive prompt field. Now, let's run the workflow and see the result. So the generation is complete. Now let's take a look at the result. Like before, we got another good result, as we can see here how the tram part is used in image generation. Now let's try a pose map. I'll select another image that contains some human poses. Let's choose this image of a man and a woman. This time, I only want one pose from the image. I'll right-click and open the mask editor. I want the pose of the woman. So let's draw the mask around her. Now, let's invert the mask and save it. When we want pose control maps, we should use the open pose/DW pose output of this subgraph. So, let's connect that output to the image input of the zimageturbo node. Now, let me mute the K sampler so I can show you how the pose map looks. Let's run the workflow. Here is the pose map of the woman. You can see here how the mask helped us isolate the pose of the woman. Now, let's unmute the K sampler and change the positive prompt. I'll open Notepad, copy this prompt, and paste it into the positive prompt field. Now, let's run the workflow and wait for the result. The generation is complete, so let's take a look at the result. Well, the pose in the generated image doesn't quite match the pose from the reference image, and I also see a slight quality issue. Also, I made another mistake. I forgot to connect the open pose/DW pose output to the image comparer for comparison. Because of that, I'm seeing the depth map in the image comparer right now. Let's fix that. I'll connect the open pose/DW pose output of the subgraph to the second image input of the image comparer. To improve the pose accuracy, I think we should increase the Controlnet strength. Let's set the strength to 0.9 and run the workflow again. The generation is complete, so let's take a look at the result. Well, this time too, I am not happy with the outcome. There are still some issues with the image. Maybe I should increase the steps and see if that helps. Let's set the steps to 30 and run the workflow again to see the result. As always, the generation is finished, so let's take a look at it. Well, this looks good, but there are still some issues. For example, look at her left hand. A part of the clothing has merged with her hand. So how can we improve this? Well, I think this time we need to adjust the prompt. I suggest writing prompts that match the reference image's pose. For example, let me show you another generation. Let's choose a different image. For this image, I have a better prompt that matches the pose. Let's copy that from Notepad, paste it into the positive prompt field, and run the workflow and wait for the result. Well, the generation is finished, so let's take a look at it. As you can see here, this result is really good. There may be some minor issues, but overall, I like the result. To write the prompt used in this image generation, I used ChatGPT. You can use any other LLM to help you write prompts that match the specific poses of your reference images. So what do I think about this Controlnet? Well, I think it's good, but comes with some minor issues. Also keep in mind, using this new Controlnet makes the generation slower. So you can try the latest 8 steps Controlnet. Also, remember that the diffusion model we are using is a distilled model. It's possible the base model might produce even better results. So guys, try this Controlnet for yourselves and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.